back in January, I injured my right elbow at the gym. We're kind of gym warriors. We're not hardcore, but we work out regularly. I'm in my 60s. My wife is in her 50s. We want to stay in health. We hike a lot. We like outdoor activity. So we try to do things to eat right, stay in good shape. But in January, I injured my elbow, and it put me in a situation where after going to see an orthopedic guy, he got me fixed up, but put me in a brace and said, lay off the gym for a while until you're fully recovered. And then when you go back, you can do what feels okay. Well, I jumped back in, and there's some lessons that I learned from that I want to apply to marriage. And they're pretty simple lessons, but this is it. Lesson 1, maintenance is easier than launch. It's obvious. Staying in shape is easier than getting in shape. Getting in shape, you've got to get over that hump. But once you're in the groove, and once I was in the groove last year, showing up was almost automatic. I was in maintenance mode. Sure, there were times I had to push myself incrementally. I wanted to increase weight. I wanted to grow strength-wise, endurance-wise, but the foundation was there and it was solid. But what happened was I realized that I couldn't start back at the same place that I left off. I had to make some shifts. So, in marriage, it works a lot similar. It's easier to maintain a healthy connection and a healthy marriage through regular date nights, check-ins, and simple daily conversations than it is to rebuild something once things have been broken down or once things have eroded. And here's the key. Consistency beats crisis every time. That's a great thought you need to write down and make sure you remember. Consistency will always beat crisis management. Lesson 2, you have to begin somewhere. So I procrastinate a little bit. I was released to go back, but I kept putting it off and going, I'll go next week, or I'll go the next time. And I kept saying that, pushing the ball down the pike. And finally, I knew something had to change. So I just laced up my shoes, put on my gym shorts, and that one small action shifted something in my brain to prepare me to do the work. In marriage, it's the same. The hardest part is often just starting. Maybe it's opening up that book to read that chapter on marriage or on communication. Maybe it's scheduling a time to sit down and talk. Maybe it's planning that date night so that you don't keep putting it off. Maybe it's taking that course that you've been thinking about, but you keep putting it off. Listen, beginning is half the battle. To put it off, things don't just stay the same. They get harder to do the longer we wait. Lesson 3, treat it like a requirement. If we don't see staying in shape, eating right, exercising, and doing those things as non-negotiable, if we don't do that, we'll find excuses. We'll find reasons that we can do it later. But when they become non-negotiable, it's something we build into our routine. And the same goes with marriage. Doing what it takes to nurture your relationship, it's not optional. It's essential. If you want to have the relationship you desire and deserve, you can't frame it like a chore. You have to look at it like this is a necessary part of a thriving life. If you see it as a chore, it becomes a drudgery. But if you see it as an investment, it's the difference in seeing something as a cost and an investment. If it's an investment, then the price is worth it because there's a payoff, and that leads me to the next lesson. You got to focus on the payoff. When I'm consistent at the gym, I feel better, I feel stronger, more energized, more hopeful. It's amazing what it does. Those endorphins are released. There's a tangible result over time that makes the effort worth it. It's the same with investing in your marriage. There's a payoff. There's deeper connection, renewed trust, lasting intimacy, but it's all on the other side of the work. So you got to keep the reward in mind and realize if I do this, man, I'm investing in my relationship. My spouse is going to be happier. They're going to be healthier. We're going to have greater intimacy. And so you got to focus on the payoff. And then lesson number 5 is don't try to do too much at once. My first day back at the gym, I tried to pick up where I left off. It was a big mistake. I was wiped out, a little discouraged. I had to start by picking something that I could measure. And that wasn't the maximum weight. I had to back off the weight. In fact, we usually hit the gym for about 45 minutes to an hour. Man, I was at 25 minutes. I was spent. So I had to start by focusing on, I got to get my endurance back up. Well, marriage is the same way. You can't solve every issue in one day. You need to identify the biggest problem. Is it communication? Is it trust? Is it intimacy? Is it conflict resolution? What skill do you need to develop to make your marriage better? And you need to start there. Take one step. You got to build momentum. Then you move to the next step. Listen, an example, if communication is that endurance metric for you, then we've got resources that can help. Maybe you need a reboot. We've got a course called Communication Reboot. Maybe you need a deep dive into understanding the mechanics of proper communication. The reality is communication in business and in other areas of life is totally different than communication in marriage. And so we've got a boot camp that we take you through the ins and outs of how to communicate effectively, what that looks like. We've got over 15 exercises couples can do to help them master communication. So we've got that available. Listen, the point is this. You got to start. You got to see it as essential. Focus on the result and take one step at a time. Your marriage is worth the reps, I'm telling you. So here's to building strength together. Hey, don't forget, if this is helpful, share it with somebody, like and subscribe so we can continue to putting out resources like this. I hope this helps you build the marriage you desire and deserve.